Assalamu alaikum. Let's begin with a hadith. The Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "Take advantage of 5 matters before 5 other matters. Your youth before you become old, your health before you fall sick, your wealth before you become poor, your free time before you become preoccupied, and your life before your death." Let's focus on your free time before you become occupied. For most of us, the days are filled with the hustle and bustle of activities, ranging from work tasks, family duties, and a whole host more. So why is this free time? Well, it doesn't fall off a tree, you have to make this time. So imagine your 24 hours like a pie chart. Part of this needs to be cut into to create free time. And the best way is to wake up an hour earlier. But I guarantee you this will boost your success in this world and inshallah in the hereafter. This is your Muslim guide to miracle mornings. All ideas here are adapted from Hal Elrod's bestseller Miracle Mornings, but adapted for Muslims. So there are 6 steps to your miracle morning. Each one lasts for 10 minutes, therefore needing the 60 minutes, the hour, and the acronym to help you remember the 6 steps is SAVERS. So let's begin. The S stands for silence. And this is something you already do because essentially silence combines a few different things such as meditation, prayer, reflection, deep breathing and gratitude. And all of these are aspects of your morning salah. So you already have that foundation of savers in your life, okay? You're already doing this. And Fajr is a great time because if you wake up at that start, right at the start when Fajr begins, then you already have that hour waiting to be kind of taken, if you will. So, silence, you can even think to yourself salah if you want, but try to really hone in your attention to salah to make it more meditation-like and reflect upon what you're saying as you say it and really have that sense of gratitude because even waking up in the morning and being gifted with each day is something to be grateful for all of us. A is for affirmations, so S silence, A affirmations. Now, the book had all sorts of things for this, like I am powerful, I am strong. For me personally, they weren't really effective. So what I did instead and what I recommend to you is to do zikr. That affirmation is much more powerful if it's linked to God. So if you do, for example, zikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's names, pick maybe a couple for a morning and kind of reflect on them as you say them for those 10 minutes. Or you might pick particular verses from the Qur'an that have a particular significance for you. One really powerful thing as an affirmation in the morning is simply Inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi rajiun, because we've been gifted that new day. You know, death is kind of like the big brother to sleep, or in other words, sleep is like the little brother of death, as Imam Ali alayhi salam has said. And waking up is like being given a new life, but it's also a reminder that Allah's granted us that permission to wake up, and it is to Him that we're going to return. So even just that reflection on Inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi rajiun for 10 minutes in the morning is very powerful because it sets your whole day and life in perspective of the hereafter. So you're therefore more likely to have better conduct, be more mindful of maximising your day for the best, by reciting this in the morning. So S, silence, so your salah, your kind of meditation, prayer, reflection. A, your affirmation, so it could be a verse from the Qur'an, could be something like what we just discussed, could be zikr of Allah's names, whatever you want to do. And the good thing is to change these things up, because otherwise it can become just too much like rote, so you're just saying it without reflection. So kind of mix them up a bit. So that's the A. So S-A, we then need the V for savers. So V is visualization. This is very powerful. So visualize what you want. If there's something in your day that's going to cause you anxiety, for example, you have a meeting or something that's going to cause you worry, imagine yourself in that situation, smiling, being relaxed, being positive. It has a huge effect. So that's one way you can use it. Another way is actually to visualize this life, okay? So if you visualize this life as like a couple of steps, and then the day of judgment, and then the hereafter is like a long never-ending field, it just helps put the day in perspective and life in perspective, because you're visualizing the bigger picture. You're not stuck in that meeting, you're not stuck in that day, you're seeing life for what it is, that bigger picture, of which this is just a very, very short time. So that's a SAV of savers. You might not like the next one, but bear with me. So E is for exercise, and if you're gonna say you hate exercise, then trust me, as someone who probably would agree with you for the most part, it's actually really good for you. It boosts your metabolism, so it means that you can have that extra biscuit later on in the day because you've boosted your metabolism early. It increases your mood, which is really good. And it doesn't need to be long. You don't need to go for like an hour's run anywhere. You can simply do a 5-minute YouTube workout or a 7-minute YouTube workout, or just get a skipping rope and skip. It can be pretty simple, but this is really important. And if you struggle with it, then one way of motivating yourself to do it is just to think that the body that we've been given is a trust from God. And part of that trust is that we take care of it. And exercise is an excellent way to boost your immune system, boost your mood, boost your focus, and to take care of your body. So going back, recap, savers. S, silence, you can begin with Salah. A, affirmations, you can do zikr. V, visualization. And E, exercise. So we've got the R and S left. So R is for reading. One thing you could do is you could either write up a little plan for yourself and read Islamic books, and do like a week of this particular book, a week of another, or one particular book and divide the chapters across the different weeks. Or a better one is to read 50 verses of the Qur'an in the morning. Now there are chapters that have verses that are very long compared to others, where the verses are shorter. So if you are struggling for time one morning, then you can pick the shorter ones, but my advice would be to stick to one particular chapter for at least 2 weeks, so that if you're reading it consistently for at least 2 weeks, then you will really build a connection with that surah, and that's really effective for you, especially if you're reading it with translation, because it'll build your relationship with it, it'll build your understanding, and each time you come back to it, that's the beauty of the Quran, but each time you come back to that particular surah, you'll find different things to think about. So your R is your reading, so you could read Islamic books, or perhaps the better one is 50 verses of the Quran, so that's 10 minutes. And then S is for scribing. So scribing basically means journaling or writing something down, not necessarily a journal. A journal is a good one because it just by the time you've come to this final step, you'll have done your prayer, your silence, your affirmations, visualization, and exercise, and your reading. So you'll definitely have something to write about. You could also use it as a gratitude list. Write down the things that you're grateful for, your goals for this life, your bigger goals that are going to help you with the hereafter, and whatever's important to you. So it could even just be your to-do list. If there's things you need to do during the day, this could be your 10 minutes to write down that to-do list. You might also include things not to do. For example, if you know that there's something that you're prone to do that you shouldn't do, then you can write it down as do not do, okay? For example, it could be that you simply know that in the evenings you spend too much time watching TV or on Netflix. You can write down what not to do, okay? So what not to do not spend more than X amount of time on said thing, okay? So you could do a to-do list, to not do list, and also just a goals list, which is good. Maybe write down what goals are important to you, why they're important to you. So they're the 6 steps, okay? So savers, silence, which is the prayer and reflection. A, affirmations, which is zikr. V, visualization. E, exercise. R, reading. And S, scribing. One thing that I'd like you to add to this though is Pick a zikr for the day. So for example, one of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's names or a verse from the Qur'an, and try to focus on it, remind yourself of it during the day and reflect on it. So don't just say it without thinking, like say it and try and reflect on it a little bit, because then when it'll open a lot of doors for you. It'll open a lot of insight into the particular thing that you're saying. So whether it's a verse from the Quran or whether it's one of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's names, I'd really highly recommend doing zikr each day of one different thing. Again, mix it up, change it up, just to give you that variety as well. And honestly, you might think that you'll be left tired after all of this, but it is only 60 minutes. And because of what you're doing, I promise you this will leave you with increased focus, motivation and happiness. Just maybe try to sleep a little earlier, because that can help and help you get into a good routine. If you think 1 hour is too much, start off with an hour and build up. Start off with half an hour and build up. You can also, once this becomes really established and you've done it for a couple of months, what you could then do is actually the reading and the scribing is something that you can shift to the evening. So in the morning you do your prayer, your affirmations, your visualization, your exercise, you pick your zikr for the day, and then you do your reading. You should do the Quran reading in the morning, but you can do it like a second reading in the evening and your scribing in the evening. So let me know how you find this. Try it, let your friends know about it, let your family know about it. It's really good, and honestly it will just really open kind of doors for you. So please subscribe to my channel, like and share this with family and friends. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for us all, inshallah, and good luck with your Muslim miracle mornings. Allah Hafiz.